Let's have a look at the admin and configuration part of the Bisnode integration for Microsoft Dynamics 365 and the Power Platform from CRM-Konsulterna. If you're an admin and you want to set up this integration, you need to have a look at the settings for the Bisnode integration. First thing we see is username and password, and this is the credentials that you will get when you set up a subscription with Bisnode to the BBC endpoint that this integration is using. And when you have entered this and saved it, you can flip to the token tab and see, yes, you get a valid token. If there was something wrong with your credentials, you would see that here. There's also a tab called synchronization, and this is related to this keep your information up to date that I've mentioned in these demos. So do you want to do it every second week or every day and so on. So this is just a list of how many leads, how many accounts, and how many contacts that we currently have in the system that are synchronized with Bisnode. Should some information get out of date or out of sync regarding this, you can hit the resync button and it will reevaluate all the information in the system to make sure that next time the synchronization job runs, it will go smoothly. Related to this, we can see here sync logs. The sync log records are just logs of what happened during the last sync. As we can see here, this is being executed every night at 2:05 it seems, and then we've done some manual synchronization jobs as well. And you just get some basic information on these stating when it was being performed, and there's a link to the Power Automate flow run that was orchestrating this specific subscription job. And then we can see some statistics, numbers, how many records were updated and so on, how did it go, and well, this is a starting point for troubleshooting if any of the information in the system should not be what you're expecting it to be. And the sync records is actually sort of the metadata for the system to know which records do we have that we are synchronizing. So we can see, for instance, here the top one, we have an account which has the worksite ID. There's another account with company ID and worksite ID and so on. And you have the update period, when it was last updated and when it's due for the next update. So you shouldn't really have to do anything with these, but it's good to know that it's in there if you are an admin or configurator of your system. The most important part of the configuration, I would say, is the mapping. This is where you specify where attributes from Bisnode are to land in your Dynamics implementation. So in this one, you can select any field that you're using in your system. This Bisnode integration solution does not really care about where you put the information or how much of the information you put in your system. And that's a very important part of the concept of the solution. It should have a very low footprint. There's only very few fields that we are adding to account, contact, and worksite, and those are to store the actual IDs of the Bisnode records. We need to store those, and we need to know where we can find them as well. Other than that, you can use your own fields any way you want. And we can see here in this case, we have the national registration number associated with the account number on account. And then we have a worksite country on address one country, and so on for a bunch of address fields and so on. We can also see in this demo environment, we have created a number of our own custom fields to store financial information and so on. This is not fields that will be imposed on you when you install the solution. This is just for demo purpose. And when you map the Bisnode attributes to your system, you will select the attributes you have. And you might want to create new attributes for this Bisnode information, or you use existing ones. We don't really care about that. It's up to you entirely. And as you can see, there are a lot of fields that you can map to. And if you check the all fields, you will see it's even more. So the list gets really long. And of course, you can check the Bisnode specification, what all these attributes mean. Same thing for contact, a lot fewer fields there, but there are some at least. And then finally, lead is sort of the combination of employment and worksite from Bisnode that we're putting into our lead entity. So this is really important. This is what you do before you start working with this. You set it up and make sure you have all the mapping. You're mapping all the fields from Bisnode that you want to get into your own system. Finally, to get this integration working at all, you need, as I mentioned, an account with Bisnode. to be able to authenticate against the Bisnode BBC endpoint. And you also need a license key from CRM-Konsulterna. So this is where the license keys are stored. You will get from us, when you purchase the product, a license key looking like something like this. And when you enter this, you will see, okay, it's valid for the Bisnode solution, it's valid until a specific date, and so on. And it's also really important to know you cannot just use this license key that you get in any of your environments. They are environment specific. So when you want to get a license key, make sure you find the unique name of the specific environment. We'll of course help you with that, but just so you know, you cannot reuse a license key in any of your environments. If you don't have a license key, there's a trial period of 30 days, so you can start using the system, but 30 days after the solution was installed, you will need to have a valid license key to be able to continue using it. Thank you very much. That was all I had today from the Bisnode integration by CRM-Konsulterna. Thanks.